In case you missed it, the news reported new updates in the Tupac murder case. Big names in the music industry like Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, and Diddy may soon be arrested and questioned. It's likely that a recent interview with Snoop Dogg made the feds start looking into his possible involvement.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
Snoop Dogg revealed that he was actually supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac and Suge Knight the night Tupac was shot in Las Vegas, but due to some last-minute changes, he didn't go. Now that the Tupac murder case is being reopened by a new Las Vegas police team, and with new technology helping uncover fresh leads, people are taking another look at what really happened. Back then, Snoop was deeply involved in the streets, and some believe he might have been tipped off that Tupac was going to be targeted that night, which could explain why he chose not to get in the car. Later, the feds also found another interview where Snoop said that just 2 days before Tupac died, he felt like Tupac hated him.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of, and I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like it. I want to do some music with him. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to me, out at you, and you tell me what you want to do a song with it. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked the music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
With the entire internet in a frenzy, millions of fans started digging into the case themselves. But one viral thread stood out. It claimed that Snoop Dogg found out Tupac was allegedly working with the feds. According to an interview with a EC, police officer Tupac was actually an industry plant whose job was to help stop the beef between rival street gangs, the Bloods and the Crips.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, you know, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Tupac Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
When the plan clearly didn't work, Tupac suddenly passed away. That's why some people believe Snoop wanted to keep his distance from him in Vegas that night. But the viral thread also broke down several pieces of so-called evidence, suggesting Tupac might still be alive, which many say is the real reason his case wasn't properly investigated until now. It all starts with a strange 2010 interview with a rapper named Trey. He and Tupac were close back in the day and even worked on music together. During the interview, everything seemed normal until the cameraman forgot to stop recording. After placing the camera on the floor, you can hear the interviewer casually ask Trey about Tupac. Trey quietly responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question.
Nobody knows.
Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
We good.
Then, just 2 weeks later, a video was posted on a news website that appeared to show Tupac hanging out in a parking lot somewhere in Cuba.
Zoom in. That's Pac, man. He was the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
This kicked off the Tupac is alive in Cuba theory, which has remained one of the biggest and most talked about rumors. But now in 2025, with new technology, what's being uncovered is truly shocking. Suge Knight himself has repeatedly said over the years that Tupac is still alive, and one interview in particular makes that claim feel more real. According to Suge, Tupac was doing fine in the hospital right before he supposedly passed away. He said, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how someone can go from doing so well to suddenly doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But according to police records, Tupac was supposedly in a deep coma. So how could he have been laughing and joking with Suge if he was unconscious? It just doesn't add up. To make things even more confusing, in a 2008 interview, Suge said the same thing again. Tupac is alive and doing well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital, he was conscious in the ambulance, he was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
He left.
Over a 10-year span, Suge Knight kept saying the same thing, that Tupac is alive and well. But after his 2008 interview, Suge was nearly killed in a nightclub shooting where someone fired at him 6 times. He refused to tell the police anything, likely because he believed it had to do with him speaking publicly about Tupac. What's even scarier is that Suge Knight's son made the same mistake. 2018, Suge Jr. went on Instagram claiming Tupac was still alive and living in Malaysia. Not long after, he posted a screenshot of a text message that said, "You have said too much. It's now time for you to go." That's when Suge Jr. started panicking. He began posting multiple photos of Tupac with modern-day celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce. One photo with Beyonce was captioned, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." Some people thought he was just chasing clout. Others believed he was telling the truth, especially since his father was there the night Tupac was shot and likely knows more than most. And when you dig deeper into the crime itself, that's where things start to fall apart. On September 7, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas with Suge Knight, the head of his record label. They went to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson fight. After the match, they spotted someone they had problems with in the hotel lobby.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the thing was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security ended up breaking up the fight between Tupac, Suge, and the person they had issues with. After that, Tupac and Suge went back to their hotel to change clothes, and they headed out again to a nightclub.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
The aftermath of the incident remained a mystery for over a decade. Police looked into countless interviews, but one interview stood out. It was with a man named Keefe D, who spoke on DJ Vlad's show. During the interview, he described the moment they found Tupac and pulled up on him.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
Got to the light. He was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
Keefe D went on to explain that Tupac was targeted because he was the first to reach for his firearm when they stopped at a red light.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
No, once you got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
started
at Tupac and Suge.
Tupac, sensing that something was going to happen, started to prepare, but unfortunately, he wasn't fast enough. Later, Keefe D had to prove his story was legitimate. He released an interrogation video from the night of the crime, confirming that it was really him at the scene.
You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
Now that the police had a main suspect, they would then investigate further. They would end up finding Keed's reaction to Tupac passing away, showing his true emotions.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. It took a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate that happened. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
This is where things get really strange. Keefe D wrote an entire book about being involved in Tupac's death, titled Compton Street Legend. He's also done several interviews where he hinted at his involvement. But why is he only being arrested? For it now, after all these years, fans believe it could be a cover-up, that Tupac is still alive, and they're just throwing an elderly man in jail who was seen at the crime scene, hoping no one will question it. At the end of the day, though, this is Hollywood, so what do you think? Is Tupac alive, or did he sadly pass away?